Hey, yo, welcome to Slip Encounter Podcast. Welcome back. We're at the Kenichi Bed Studios. I'm your host, BINK. This your other host, GOLDENBOY.
I'm going by El Nino de Oro.
El Nino de Oro. This guy here. How was your week, man?
It was cool. I'm good because I actually got some boxing in.
Okay.
Now go ahead, because you already know I'm ready to go. Go ahead and start talking my shit, so go ahead.
I already know he ready, man. Hey, this episode gonna be crazy, man. We got a special guest coming through here, Undisputed World Champion, Franchon Crews, the heavy-hitting diva coming through the studio. We can't wait for this one. It's going to be a fantastic episode. But there's more than that. Last week was a crazy week for boxing, man. So much happened, so much to talk about today on the show. And we got some news, too. I really don't want to talk about it, but we have to talk about it, man.
You gonna give me my problem?
I'm gonna give you what you want. Just like Sugar Wayne came here and said, I'm gonna give you what you want. The fight with Bud and Spence ain't happening. Not right now.
Told y'all that shit.
Bud, like we told y'all, stop asking, stop waiting on it. Is that fight will happen when it happens. And as of now, it's not happening. Bud done signed a whole new contract. I don't even remember the guy's name. But hold on, let me say this before I pass him the mic. Don't trip though. Because some of these opponents that you don't know, sometimes they be sneaky. Remember what happened when Mikey Garcia lost to Sandor Martin? Nobody knew who the hell that dude was. He came from Spain. Yep. Came over here and put a whooping on Mikey Garcia. Well, I mean, Mikey was out the ring for a few years. But we talking about Mikey Garcia, though. Had no business losing to Sandor Martin. Yep. But, we never know with this. What could happen? Is this a formidable opponent for Bud? Could he be the one to maybe shake things up at 147? And then we got Spence talking about he don't know if he gonna be at 147 to fight Bud. He trying to go up. He can't. He's been at this for 10 years now. He don't know if he can still make that weight 147. Talking about he going up. Bud Spence, don't hold your breath waiting on this fight, man. I'll pass the mic to my man. Look at his emotions. Yo, hold on. Go ahead, get your mic right, bro. Hey,
I already got called this bullshit already.
We've been telling them for months since we started the show. We've been telling them.
Now he's coming out with, he's signing his contract with DeRozan. But like with Van, the thing is that must have been, he must have got that call in the middle of those negotiations and stuff.
Right.
Like all of that been happening. He probably called him like in the middle of all of that negotiation. It was like, look, this is what's going on. This is what we gonna do. Because I've seen stuff like that happen. Mm-hmm. Like I've seen it where I was in camp one time with Jared, and it was supposed to be the whole thing. He was supposed to fight the guy who Coda, the guy who Erickson Lubin did the showboat and knocked him out. Yeah, that one. He was supposed to fight him. Something happened. He was like, yeah, it's gonna be Coda. It's gonna be Coda. It's gonna be Coda. Next thing you know, it messed up. Then it wound up being JoJo Name. I think if I remember right. And so you already know, like, this must have been a whole bunch of bullshit. Like this, they probably was sitting in negotiating time, all that stuff. Like, all right, look, this is what's going on. So we tired of dealing with it. So look, just stay ready. We might call you to be an opponent, in December or something. All right, just stay ready. Like that type of stuff happened. But to me and BINK point, we told y'all. We told y'all for months. We told y'all in the street and on this show. We kept telling y'all it's not what they go and Coppinger saying this, and I said, okay, wait till what Coppinger says next. Cause some of the stuff I'm getting text messages about at 11 that night about this what happened today in negotiations. Point blank, to make a long story short, to reiterate, everything was a done deal. Basically, if you take this table, all Bud was walking away with was this hat from the table. That's all he was walking away with. Everything else went to Earl. He said you could pay me a flat rate just off gross, but I just want to be able to see the books. That's all I want. I just want to be able to see the books. I want to look at it so I know I'm getting the right fee. Same situation happened with AJ and Deontay. Cool, you giving me the biggest payday in my career? Cool. Let me just make sure it's what I'm supposed to be getting. So, we back? All right, back to talking
shit. Go ahead, bro. Do your shit.
Like, Man, you sitting there and you waiting and waiting and waiting. You get tired of waiting on somebody. It's almost like you feeling like man, I ain't your girlfriend, bro. I ain't waiting on you. I got things I gotta do.
That's a good point.
Like,
good point.
Bud, you think Bud gonna sit there like, man, I don't need this money that bad, bro. Like, I want this fight. I want this for money and legacy, but I ain't that pressed, bro. Like, go on about your day. I'll catch you later. Hey, that's just how it is. And all because he wanted to see the books. Like, be able to, so that way they won't be able to say, yeah, so it was only this because this is what we made. And he wants them to be able to show this is, okay, so because of this and this is what I made, and it's without a doubt transparent. That's all he wanted. And because of that, that was the issue. So everything got scrapped.
Everything got scrapped, man. Crazy. But like I said, we both said it was a feeling that y'all can't go by these clickbait, these YouTube channels and these Instagram guys. Because they for sure post clickbait and post things as facts that aren't facts. So just because you see a headline and a guy got 100,000 views on his whatever, don't mean what he's saying is actual factual. I just seen many guys on YouTube and Instagram talking about, yeah, the fight's done. The fight's gonna be made. They're fighting in November.
Just to get that.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I just got a inside source just told me this, isn't it? Ain't no inside source. Look where we at now. Wasn't nothing done. Wasn't nothing made, man. So take everything you see with a grain of salt and keep it rocking, man. So as for now, Spence Crawford is in jeopardy. We might not, probably, like you said last episode, we might not ever see. We might not ever see that fight. Unless they both at 154. That's probably when we're going to see that fight. At 147.
Down the line.
At 147, that fight is in jeopardy, man. But yo.
Last weekend. This all goes with that. This all goes with that. Everything that happened last weekend proves a point. You got these women putting their belts on the line, putting everything on the line.
Top of the top. Number one versus number two.
Selling out. They sold out over here and they sold out over there. And they saying, man, they going to keep fighting over at England because they get even more love over there. Go ahead, BINK.
Nah, you right, bro. Like we said, like I said last week. I think I said it, bless you. I think I said last week. I said, yo, y'all better step it up because the women, they coming for y'all. Eventually, y'all gonna be the co-main events. Y'all gonna be the preliminary fights because they coming. They putting on great shows, great fights.
Coming to get it.
I missed some of the undercard, but from what I saw from highlights, almost every fight was evenly matched last week at the O2. The women did the damn thing, bro. A lot of them went to war. There was cuts. There was tough fights, blood. I'm talking about everything that you would want.
Girls learning how to be pros,
with
good,
man,
tough opponents.
Right, man. It was a fantastic weekend for boxing. I really want to talk about the women's card. We can get to Devin Haney and Kambosos whenever, but I really want to talk about that. What was your favorite fight on the card? Who showed you the most? Alycia?
I have to say Alycia.
Yeah, go ahead.
Man, because, but the crazy part, because she made the adjustment. Because at first, you baiting Michaela, baiting her, and she's starting to touch and turn, but she's like, yeah, she's not bringing that left hand back up. And all of a sudden, Michaela started getting it there. I mean, clean, getting it there. And then, like, maybe she's starting to break her down just a little bit. And I saw her take that deep breath, got herself under control, and then Tony told her, and she saw it, and all of a sudden, the adjustment made, she went right back out. I think it was round 9 or something like that. She just started running the numbers. As soon as she got off the stool, running the numbers.
Right.
And then immediately, everything started turning again, back to her favor. It was like, beginning was her, middle was Michaela a little bit. Then next, the end, she started close the show. Started leaving no doubt. But there was no losers last weekend. There was no losers. No, even if you lost, you didn't lose. Not just financially, but nobody out there performed bad. Nobody. It was what we say, remember Fernando Vargas. His loss. He lost, but he didn't lose. Like, he lost a piece of himself because how badly he went to war that night.
Right.
But people love him to this day for what he did. You know, what he put on that night. Because some guys ain't got it in them to get up off that stool and do it. And they'll just try to survive.
Right.
And he didn't do that. And, and these girls, they was putting it out there. They was putting it on. I just stood up and did this. I was like, man, y'all, I just tipped my hat.
Right.
I tipped to all of them. But the main event, Savannah made me a believer, man. That old herky-jerky style, man, she made me a believer. I can't take nothing from her. And I knew once the fight was over, Claressa was gonna tell the truth because she has a habit of doing it. As soon as the fight's over, she'll give you a prize to tell you the truth. And she was like, I couldn't see. I don't know how bad it was. Like if it was just blurry, she couldn't see out that eye, or if it was black, she couldn't see out that eye. But I knew, like, oh, that hook got through, and that's why, man, eyes is a dangerous thing in this sport, and then because that could have been bad. So that also goes to how gritty Claressa is to get it done, get it together, and wind up pulling it off. Cause that could be a deal breaker.
Oh, for sure. 100%.
Sure, for me that would have been a deal breaker. Like, all right, I'm moving this way. Like, I ain't trying to go that way no more.
I heard that. But to your point though about there being no losers, really were no losers. Michaela's stock did not drop at all. Taking a loss, her stock, if anything, her stock rose from the performance that she put on. These fights don't be happening on the men's side because folks want to put up their undefeated 0 against somebody else's belt. They're scared to take that L. Bro, look what these women is doing. They put it on the line. And I want to see them fight again.
Yeah.
Stock did not drop. So why can't we get the fights? Why y'all scared to lose the O? The O don't mean nothing. The fans, we want to see performances. We want to be excited. We want to stand up and have chills in the hair on our arms standing up after after the final bell rings. That's what we come to see. That's what we want to see, man. Bro, give us the fights.
They did that at the O2.
At the O2.
Bro.
Overseas, yo. Come on, man. Give us the fights, man. In my opinion, bro, hold on. Let me ask you this. Do you think the fight was close? Do you think the decision with Alycia and Michaela was right?
Yeah, it was right.
Okay.
I feel like she pulled it off.
Yeah, I feel like she got it too. People were saying that Michaela was the more polished boxer.
Whoa, no.
Before the fight, a lot of people saying Alycia gonna have to adjust to Michaela's boxing. She's a more polished boxer. She's a more accomplished boxer, fundamentally sound boxer. I'm watching the fight like, Alycia is slicker, and she looks like the more experienced, more polished boxer. I think she's a more athletic boxer, quicker, had a little bit more pop, a little bit more steam on her punches than Michaela. And she took over and set the pace and never backed down.
I don't know if she had more pop. Everything else I agree, but the pop instinct, man, when Michaela hit it, I mean, you heard the psh in her whole head went this way. Alycia would not bring that left hand back to save her life. And it was no discipline there. She went this way and immediately step, went this, pow. And that was, but she adjusted.
Right.
And everything. But nah.
I don't think Alycia showed her power last fight. But we talking about who got more power, I think for sure. I would definitely say Alycia.
No, I'm talking about just this one fight.
Oh, okay.
Just this one fight.
Okay, yeah. For sure. I can
that
definitely
right
agree
hand
with that.
was landing. I mean, textbook.
I can agree with that.
Textbook right hand.
I can agree with that. And Alycia found a way to win, man. That was phenomenal, especially in those championship rounds when it got really close. And Michaela started closing the gap and closed it up. I was like, damn, like this joint could be a draw. It could be a draw. I wouldn't be mad at a draw, but I edged it out. That last round, when Alycia landed those last 2 right hands at the end of the last round, it was a right hand she landed. Then it was like 4 seconds left in the fight. She landed a right hand at the end of the round. I said she won the fight right there. That's how close it was for me. She won that fight off those last 2 right hands she landed. She landed them flush and clean. That's just, again, that's like grit. That's heart. That's determination. I'm not leaving here without these belts, yo. So shout out to Alycia Bumgardner, man. Like that was a phenomenal performance, man. And I would love to see y'all run it back. I wouldn't mind seeing that fight again. Man,
they gonna meet again.
They gonna have to.
Because they hate each other. They gonna meet again.
No, they real live hate each other,
they
bro.
Alycia only did that, walk over there and say, what you supposed to say.
Yeah.
She only did that because it was the right thing to do.
Exactly.
And, it was the right thing to do. Because Michaela could have never fought her.
Right.
So she did the right thing.
Right.
But let's be real here. After that joke was over, they went right back to talking shit to each other. I mean, Twitter literally blew up after that of them going back and forth. From Sunday afternoon till I want to say yesterday or Thursday, they were going back, still going back and forth again.
As they should, man.
Going back and forth again, like a real rivalry. Yeah. And they really don't like each other.
100%, 100%. What do you think's next for Claressa?
Anything she wants.
Where does she go next? She's done everything.
Anything she want to do.
I mean, damn, I'm thinking about
anything
who else.
She want to do. Anybody she want to fight. Anybody she want to pluck. She's at this point like Floyd almost. Where now she's she beat the one girl that everybody was saying, like, well, what if? The what if.
Right.
The spookiness of it all.
Right.
And took some good shots from her. Dug deep. Separated herself from Savannah and won.
Mm-hmm.
All right, do whatever you gonna do now. You wanna go act? Go do that. You wanna come back and fight somebody? Pick somebody to fight. Do your thing.
Yeah.
Pick weight class. Do what you gonna do. You already done earned it.
She's goated. Like she definitely is goated. There's no dispute, no debate about Claressa Shields and her legacy. In my opinion, I'm ranking her pound for pound greatest ever, men and women.
Oh hell yeah!
Easily in the top 10.
Oh yeah.
Easily.
Putting her somewhere in that top 10. She done bumped some people. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah.
She done bumped some people. And I mean,
you got to, man.
I done seen this. From watching her mature from when she first really came on the amateur scene, like international amateur scene, and watching it to now, it's like, just tip your hat and keep walking forward. Even if you don't like her because how she talk, whatever the case may be, but we know why she's talking like that. Half of it ain't just, confidence. Majority of it is the Floyd thing. Remember the whole pretty boy to money thing? I gotta sell more. I gotta be able to sell one. Now I just want to see her get punched in the face and see what happens.
Right.
So you can't necessarily blame her for that.
Right. And on the flip side of that too, it could be, I know sometimes I do this, like every day I'm not confident. Every day my level of self-esteem isn't high. So I can only imagine at that level of a sport where you like the face of women's boxing, like you gotta talk your shit and make yourself believe it that you can do what the hell you're supposed to be doing. I'm sure they go through hard days too, where they gotta talk that shit to make themselves believe, to get themselves back in that mental, like, yeah, I am her or I am him. Like, fuck am I doing? Motherfuckers can't see me. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, now it's just, but to Savannah,
excuse my language. I'm sorry, y'all.
Oh,
I was in the zone. My fault.
But I gotta tip my hat to Savannah because she showed up.
She showed up for
it. She didn't have to do, like, she knew it was some risk to the fight, but she could have easily said, "We're gonna do it in England, but somewhere else, like, or whatever, or just any type of way to get away from what could happen or whatever." And she went out there, and they was going nuts for her.
Damn, it was loud as hell. I can only imagine being in person. When
Oh
she came out, yo,
God, they went nuts for her. And they gave her a standing ovation. They knew she lost this fight, barred the decision. But they stood up and gave her a standing ovation and did not want her. Because she was like, I don't know how true it is, but basically, she was like, all right, well, I'm done. I'm retiring. I guess she said it in the corner or whatever. I'm not sure how true it is, but you hear Claressa tell her, like, nah, you better not after that performance.
Yeah, she told her.
Nah, don't do that. Don't do that. After this performance, nah. And they stood up and gave her a standing ovation. So, with that, it's a little bit, she should just go ahead, sit back, enjoy, soak all of this in, relax her body.
Take some time off.
Take some time off. And then come on back, move up. You have nothing else to accomplish here. Go on up and fight our guest.
Fight our guest. For sure. Let me ask you this, though. So I was kind of nervous. Even with Claressa clearly winning the fight, right? Were you kind of nervous for the decision? Because of where they were at? I was nervous as hell, bro. I'm like, yo, they about to do it dirty.
No, I thought they was about to do her cruddy, dog.
I just knew it, yo. I was like, yo, she about to get right.
Because it was man, what? I was sitting there, I stood up out the seat and I was like this.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Because I'm thinking in my head, I done seen worse things happen.
Right.
Worse.
Right.
So I'm like, this fight was just close enough where Savannah was working. Where you can say, oh, we gonna take it from her.
Right.
You didn't really beat Savannah up type of thing. It's just something for them to grab on. And I'm like, oh, shit, here we go. And when they did that pause right before they said the name, I was dry. I was like, oh, God, no, don't do this. Don't do this. Don't do this, dog. No, and all of a sudden they made Clarissa's name. Like, man, I didn't even jump in the air. I just literally almost passed out. Like, oh, thank God.
The deepest exhale of my life, bro.
And she was nervous too. You can see her like,
yeah, like, don't do me like that.
Like her eyes like this. I was like, oh yeah, she feeling that junk too. That anxiety is no joke. That anxiety is no joke.
I'm just glad the judges did the right thing. They definitely got it right, man. Woo, but Lord, was I nervous for that decision, man. Super nervous because I feel like she did enough. But when you go into a hostile environment like that, you know what I'm saying? It's like, yo, like you said, we done seen worse.
Oh yeah,
we done seen worse, man.
Worse,
so, boy. My level of anxiety was on one.
Man, on one. So let me ask you. So now, if Savannah goes to 68, wouldn't that be a big money fight with Sean and Savannah back at the O2?
Hell yeah, Undisputed the champion, and then go back over there where they showing I feel like they like American fighters. You know what I'm saying? I mean, they still support their own, but they know we bringing that shit.
Yeah, you heard
they know
what
we
Bud
bringing
said.
that. Yeah, they know we bringing that shit. So I feel like with Franchon over there, O2, but then again, she the Undisputed champion. She should be the A side calling the shots of where the fight gonna be.
True.
You know what I'm saying? So either or, I want to see them fight. I want to see them fight. She should be coming on the show here shortly, guys. But
Undisputed champion.
We're gonna ask her all about it. Let's touch on Devin Haney and Kambosos real quick.
Why?
Because we have to, bro. Like, first of all, I want to say, why the hell did we even need a rematch? We told y'all after the first fight was about to happen. We told y'all. That boy Kambosos can't rock with Devin.
Played nice and said, well, if Kambosos shows up and does this and that.
Right.
And he actually did show up. He threw more when he was coming to get it, but he definitely left himself wide open for so much that he took a beating. He took a worse beating.
He got beat on more. Right. He got beat on more this fight than he did the first fight. I mean, Devin is nice, yo. So what's next for Devin? Who do you want to see Devin fight next?
Any of them.
Anybody at 35?
Anybody.
Let me ask you this. He looks scary, drained. He looks scary, dehydrated at the weigh-ins. He looked like 50 Cent when he shot that movie. He lost all that weight. His eyes were sunk into the back of his head. I'm like, yo, is he going to be all right?
Man, I mean, it was...
Yo, so it's 135. How can he keep doing... How much longer can he keep doing that to himself?
2 fights.
He got 2 more fights?
I got 2 fights for him. 2 fights. But it don't really matter because they're all still... in a sense, babies, like how Spencer Fearon was saying. They still babies. So either in their prime. So either way, they're gonna wind up fighting each other at 40 or 47. Somewhere down the line.
Right.
It's gonna build up to that. So
right.
Who cares? Like, I mean, if he moves up to 40, he gets stronger, move forward. But either way, beautiful performance.
Hell of a performance.
Oh my God. I mean, everything was on one because I was worried. Did he change his diet a certain way? And that's why he's more sunken in a little bit. And it made me worry, like, okay, his whole thing was I was worried about the Tommy Hearns effect. But people don't know when Tommy fought Ray, he got down. When they weighed in that morning, because back then it was not the day before. It was morning of, like early in the morning, like 7, 8, 9 in the morning where they would weigh in back then. And Tommy weighed in at 145, like 144.9 or 145, something like that. And Manuel Stewart, Sugar Ray said, man, he looked at him like, dog, this dude is done. And then when he said he saw him across the ring later that night, he was like, this dude ain't the same guy who was at the weigh-in. But later on, when he got to round 13, if it was round 12, he would have won the fight. But 13, 14, 15, him losing those extra pounds, backfired. And that's what I was worried about with Devin. But man, I tip my hat to you, boy. Man, you look beauty. Talk about, because people, they ranked on this kid for years about not closing the show, fighting a certain way as the fight goes on, all this mess. And he pushed Kambosos backwards because they really was getting on about the first fight because they were like, man, you always talking about how y'all know when I get the stress ball, bingo is when I get the stress ball out.
You trying to throw? I better than slip that joint. You trying to throw that joint in? Like, yo, come on, yo.
Like, whenever he's gotten going, he still don't close the show, I guess. And for him to say Kambosos, oh, you too small, the first fight, and do it the way he did it, was kind of like they were ranking on him about it in gyms, in public, whatever. And then now, what can you say? Because he really busted this kid up.
He really beat him up.
Like, he really busted this kid up, man. Like, he took a toll on him.
He said he was going to knock him out.
And it wasn't for lack of trying.
And it wasn't. You saw him sit down on some shit. He sat down
what?
and tried to go for it. But at the same time, I was kind of nervous when he sat down with Linares, we seen what happened.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, like get out. But he proved that he could do it. He proved that he really is growing into his strength, into his power. And Devin is I ain't gonna hold you, bro. I'm gonna be completely honest. A couple years ago, I was like, I'm still iffy about Devin. I need to see more from Devin. I need to see him do more in the ring.
What did Silk tell you? What did Silk
Man,
tell
go
you?
ahead, yo.
What did Silk? No. We ain't gonna breeze past this shit. Nah, I want you to look at the camera and say, what did Silk tell you all of this time leading up from a year and a half ago when we met to now about Devin?
It's been a couple people that have been telling me. And I want to shout out to my man Trey. Trey Star. My man Trey told me, he's like, yo, Devin the best 135 in the world. I said, over Lomachenko, over Tank, over everybody else? He said, watch what I'm telling you. He said, I'm telling you right now, Devin the best 135 in the world. He going for all them belts. I said, I don't know if he can do it. Devin, I mean, the jab nice, but I need to see him do this, I need to see him do that. And Trey, I'm shout out to you because you was right too. And I'm gonna be a man. I'm gonna stand on when I was wrong. And Trey, you was right too. Devin is him at 135. Yeah, Devin is definitely him at 135.
And I remember I was telling him, I was like, nah, he can hold his skills with Lomachenko, I believe, because it's just off his jab alone will be able to really change some things with Loma. But skill wise, yeah, you have to give him his play. Like he's one of the top guys. If not, he's gonna when he won Undisputed, you gotta say he's the top guy because he had all the belts. He beat the man who beat the man.
Yeah.
You know, so you kind of got to look at it a certain way.
Got to.
But let's talk about our guest real quick before she shows up.
Go ahead, bro.
Because I know we got a little bit of time with her. So I want to go ahead and talk some. This former teammate, I've been around her for years. She was like one of my first fights that she made, like one of the forfeit one. Like she made that for me. Whatever. She always look out. Man, people was like, you want to tell a funny story about Franchon? I was like, sure, I got a funny story. We down in the gym, right? This is like right when I started being around Herb and them, like learning.
Yeah.
Bruh, this girl comes in the gym with, I don't know who this lady was. Till this day, I don't know who this lady was. She had a whole team around her.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they was like, cameras, all of that. And I'm like, who she spawn? Who she down here for? They was like, she down here for Sean. I swear to God, bro, I did this. I was like, she down here. I'm like 18 at the time, like 18, 19. I'm like, she down here for Sean? With all these people and a camera crew. Oh, no, I don't think that's a good idea. Swear to God, bro. Man, the beating that she put on that girl, I will never forget it. And then you got Gary Russell, Sweet G ass is right standing next to me. Alan's here, and these fools, and she started, man, that right hand was, that brick hook was landing. Mm-hmm. Sean, pow, and landed, pow, and all of a sudden, here goes Sweet G. Yeah, hit it. Every time like she would hit her, he making a noise. Yeah, there you go, load it up. And then load up another one. It was so bad, dog. And like the girl face was, I'm surprised she didn't bust this girl up worse, but like it was a white girl, her face was so red.
The head getting everything.
Head getting all.
Lord
she
Jesus.
broke her down. I think they did 6. I want to say 5 or 6. And it's the image, like, I mean, she beat the mess out of this girl. Right. And we were looking like, why would you even set yourself up to fight the top girl in the amateurs in her weight class right now?
Right.
You want to come down here with a camera crew and your manager, the promoter you supposed to be signing with, all these cruel people. Man, I was right then and there, I learned. I was like, oh, so this is, because I had already heard stories like, man, go do this. Rough you up. She'll come to fight. She'll rough you up. She'll do this. She'll do that. And I was like, oh shucks, like good God, man. People told me a story one time. She was at, I forget what tournament. She losing on, remember this point system. Right. The white knuckle got on land. This is back then when the white knuckle got on land. Man, I think how the story went. Big Gary told me she was down by like 4 or 5 points or something like that, and it's going into the 3rd. And he gives her a tongue lashing in the corner. To the point where she about to really she's getting angry, sad, angry.
Yeah, I know who I know that's like. Yes, Lord.
She got her stool. Next you know, bing, bing. 8 count. Oh, 8 count, 8 count. Because you got the screen at the top telling you the points. So we look, yo, Sean, 3 more points. Gary ended up telling it, boom, hit the girl again, coming right back. And the whole time, she got tears in her eyes hitting this girl. Looking back, look at the joint, look at the fight, look at the scoreboard, look at the fight, look at the score. She come back and beat the girl. 8 count, but not just beat her, but 8 counted her with like 30-something seconds left.
Oh, shit.
And just stopped her. Even though she was hitting her with 8 counts that were basically, once you get an 8 count, whatever 2 or 1 punch you hit her with, they giving you a point.
Yeah.
But it's like, because it's landing clean. Nah, it didn't even matter. It went from mattering to not mattering no more. That's how brutal.
How bad it was.
Yes.
Damn.
The only girl, just for y'all to understand what she was, it was only a few people. Even right now, if you go down her resume, in the amateurs, 2 pros, it's only maybe 2 people you're going to say that's more decorated than her, man or woman. It's only 2, maybe 2 or 3. You're not going to go deep down on that list. You're only going to say Claressa. You're only going to say, the only reason why, because with Claressa, because she won the gold medal. But guess who she had to beat? But they got really tight during all of that.
Right.
So that's how decorated this girl is. Like one of the top most decorated women out there, period. Man or female, she could put, okay, you a man, you done won this, won that, you went to this, and went to that. Okay, here's all my, forget about locals. Throw your local, regional, and national stuff. Matter of fact, throw your local and regional stuff. We're just going to do nationals and international competition all the way up to pro. She could put her stuff on the table and maybe take up the table with any man.
For sure.
So serious. That's how serious I remember Franchon Crews. Like, that's how serious I remember her coming up.
So to you, what's something that stands out about her fight game to you the most?
Tenacity.
You took mine, bro. Damn. Go ahead, bro.
You thought I was going to say something about skills like I normally do.
Anything, but that's just what I was going to say. But go ahead.
Bruh, she just, I don't know what it is, man. I don't know what it is. Whether it's clean or sloppy, she gonna dig. She gonna dig, man. She's going to dig, and she don't care. She's so strong. Like, I've seen her. We in the gym training together. It was me, her, and the Russells. And we had this thing where you had to do burnouts on the bag. And you start like just on all bricks. All bricks. It got to be all bricks. Combination punching, all bricks. And she right there. And I mean, she with the orchestra.
Right.
Pow, 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 pow. Like, God, man. Like, I mean, she's sitting on it.
Right.
And she's gotten stronger and more precise since then. So it's like, that was the biggest thing that stood out. No matter how tired, like, I've seen her get tired. I've seen her get where people felt like she was sloppy in spots. But her mentality is, how can I put it? What do I always say about people getting tired, like Ali and Ray Leonard and Floyd, how they was still, no matter how tired they got, their punches stayed sharp. They stay still, and even if or they got tired, but they still mentally are able to push. Franchon's one of them. Like, she's still mentally able to push. Push. Like, I've never seen her not, like, okay, now she's just gonna try to survive. I've never seen that. Ever. Like, I've never seen that.
Right.
She's always been that dog.
Man, that's what I was going to say, man. Honestly, I was going to say, what stands out the most to me about her is her ability to dig deeper than you.
Yeah.
When you thought you dug deep, she going to dig a little bit deeper. When you think you done hit her hard, she going to hit you just a little bit harder. She going to find a way. And I can't wait to ask her, like, where does that come from? Like, where do you pull that out of? Because a lot of people don't have it, and they try to get it, and they think they got it, but when they really put into the water with them sharks, they can't. They don't got it. They don't show that kind of tenacity. So
now they talk it, but they want to just
talk
survive.
It, but they don't walk it like they talk it. Walk it like they don't do that. My fault, y'all. They don't just hit.
God. They talk it. But they sit there a lot of times. I mean, I'm not gonna say the fighter's name. We all know. It's plenty of them. We could go down the list, but where that has happened, where you think they're gonna show up, and next thing you know, they just surviving. And they supposed to be that A-side guy, things like that. But at the same time, I've never, how can I put this? I always tell people, if it's not a conversation with somebody who played football or somebody who boxed at a certain level, I'm not gonna have that conversation with, because I'm telling them that you don't know what's going on in that square.
Mm-hmm.
Like a lot of rough things happen right in front of people's eyes that they don't realize is happening.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but when you sit there and you see somebody digging, and you know they digging deep, and you know that they getting tired, and they pushing themselves to a whole nother level, you can't do nothing but tip your hat to them.
Got to.
Especially with this one, there's no breaks. You get what you get. And you got 1 minute. Get it together.
Right.
Now go on back out there.
Yeah. I got nothing but respect for those kind of performances. Nothing but respect. It's like when I used to, we used to lift weights in college and we have like the max days. Like we did max reps. So like whatever your max rep was, he would do the math and that would be your single rep max. And my coach, right? Let me tell a little quick story. My coach, we had a max day. We was doing bench. And I told coach I wanted to start at 315. He said, nah. He looked at me. He said, nah, I want you to start at 245. Well, it was 255. I said, coach, I can start at like 315. He said, nah, you a defensive back. I want you to start at 255. Man, I went over there with the DBs. I'm tight, right? So now I got to prove a point. I got to prove a point. So the other DBs, Lord. They was doing like 3 or 4 reps, 5, 6 reps, 7, 8 reps. And I got on the bench. My defensive coordinator, when he told me I got to start at 255, he walked over there and he had his arms crossed. He thought he was going to prove a point. So now I'm like, okay, bet. I threw that shit up 18 times. 18 times, bro. And I racked it. And I said, coach, am I good? He just shook his head at me. So it's like, when you got to dig deep, when you're back against the wall, it was like I had no choice because I knew he didn't think I could do it. And I hate when somebody tell me I can't do something or to be put in a spot where I got to perform. And I know personally, I'm going to rise to the occasion. You're not going to put me in a spot where I'm going to put my back against the wall, like you said. So try to survive. I could have tried to survive and did 9, 10 reps. Mm-hmm. I was done at like 10 reps, but I said, nah, I'm going for 18. I'm going to keep going till I can't. They had to pick that shit up off my chest before I stopped and couldn't do no more. That's what I kind of related to. So I got nothing but respect for people that when they thrown into the fire, they find a way to come out and survive on top, man.
I tell people all the time, when you don't let the temperature of the ring be even worse. Don't let the temperature of the ring be even worse. Like if the temperature of the ring is worse, that really takes a toll. But on top of that, you just doing it and fighting, and then you're starting to get tired in both of you on a certain level, and you pushing. Matter of fact, let's just go and put it out there. The fight with the girl Alejandra, and she popped dirty.
Yeah.
Son, I did in there. I say, all right, nobody could never take nothing from Franchon, because that girl was throwing some bricks. I mean, she was throwing some bricks, and I'm like, God, she's sweating, I'm sweating. Like, come on, move, Sean, move. Keep moving, keep rolling under on it, keep returning, because the feet too slow, keep rolling under. And I'm like, man, I know this got to be taken, because you relate to it as a fighter. You know this person that you personally know, and you know that she can dig deep. But you also, because of that, you're worried for the health part, right, because you know that she's gonna fight to the death.
Right.
So it's like, okay, come on. My mother and father like, all right, come on, get it together. And she started rolling under, and that uppercut hook started landing. And I'm like, oh, there it go. But I knew, you kind of sometimes have a feeling like something ain't right with you looking at. But at how big the fight was going is like how intense it was. All I'm worried about is Sean. That's all I'm worried about. So I'm like, all right, come on, move, Sean. Come on, move. Keep doing this. Don't stay in front of her. Because this girl is dropping brick. Go look at that tape and look at the shots that Sean had to catch and roll with. Go look at them shots. Go look at when she landed, because they still post this. Right. This uppercut hook that she threw. They still post. They said textbook. Every single boxing page that posts it says textbook. Slim. She sat there and rolled and threw these shots. And I'm looking. Sometimes you could look at shots and see someone miss them and go, oh my God, everything on that. And I'm looking like, oh Lord, this girl got everything on these shots. And Sean's sitting there like, and I see Sean sitting on the stool, and she's like, eyes closed and digging. And then, Barry do his thing. Barry do his thing, get her going. And Glenn right there, man, tip my hat to Glenn, man. But they all had her. They right there, they got her. And all of a sudden I see, and I'm like, okay, 2 more rounds of this. 2 more rounds of this, she go home. Come on. And I'm saying it in my head, like, come on, Sean, 2 more rounds of this, you go home. You can rest all you want. But that right there, and then to find out what was going on afterwards, what can you say?
Can't say nothing.
You can't say nothing.
Can't say nothing. I ain't know she only had 9 fights.
Yeah.
Undisputed with 9 fights, bro. Man, stop playing with her name like that, bro. Y'all get me tight, bro. That's good. That's like the Lomachenko effect right there.
Bro. I mean, she was one of the, like, remember when we had that private conversation about Tank, and I was telling you about him from Lil all the way up?
Yeah.
I'll just say, not to get deep into it, she's another one of them where I was like, I'm really happy that because you done heard me say, even if I don't like you, I still want to see you do good and make some money in this sport, because you know what that 3 minutes can feel like. So if I like you, I'm really happy for you. And if I love you and I got a personal relationship with you, oh man, I'm ecstatic for you. And she's one of those few that I'm ecstatic for because of how far back we go. Yeah. Like, I'm a baby. Like, that's how far back we go. Right. You know, that in the gym, I'm a baby in the gym around her learning. She, you know, her telling me this. No, you do this, do that. That goes that far back. Right. Like, you know, so she's one of those ones I'm really just happy to see her doing fine. Like, yeah, girl, go ahead, come out with 80, whatever you want. And her making her clothes too. And remember the boy who fought Monzo when we was at the Merlin Live card? Yeah. That's her stuff.
Oh, for real?
That what he was wearing, that's her stuff.
Okay, that's what's up.
Yeah, the stuff that Claressa wore a few fights back. I think Claressa wore her stuff about 2-3 times different fights. You know, right? Made Lamont's. I think she made Lamont's trunks. She done made a lot of trunks for a lot of guys.
That's what's up. Talented, man. And if y'all don't know, she a singer too.
Yeah, she done did that. Like, they call her in this area to come if she's not too busy to come and do. Is it America the Beautiful? And because I've seen, every time I've ever seen her, she's had to do 2 performances. But but the national anthem, and I think it's America the Beautiful. I think, right? Yeah, she has to come and sing. Like, that's who she is.
I was in the gym one day and I heard, what was she singing? Might be the national anthem. It's out of nowhere in the back of the gym. I'm like, is that on the speakers?
Who the heck is that? Oh yeah, oh, you didn't know.
I didn't know at the time. I'm like, yo, she can sing like that? Yeah. I'm talking about booming voice. It's a booming voice. Shout out to Miss Chapman in the chat with the donation. Thank you. We appreciate it. A little tip for the amazing job you all do. Thank you. Yeah, I had no idea that she could sing like that.
Your laptop now, bring up my tablet, bro.
It's crazy, man. Like, yep. You would get a phone that fold in half just to prove a point. Because why your phone need to fold in half?
Yo, why you looking at
Because, like, why?
Hey, no, put the camera on him. No, look at this look. Like, he really had this look like, you motherfucker, you.
Yeah, because every time I look at that extra phone, I'm like, you doing too much. You doing way too much.
No, don't. It's okay. It's okay.
You know what I mean? Because every time I see him, he got a new Beamer. Still got Chick-fil-A, though. Still got Chick-fil-A, but with a new Beamer or a new something. And then one day he just showed with a phone that folded in half. And I be like, during the show, I be looking at this joint like, I'm waiting for the screen to crack. Like, I'm waiting for something to malfunction, because why? But hey, man, do you, bro?
But that's how you gonna end it. But you know what, bro? Do you, bro? Like, I'm happy for you. I'm looking at you with a side eye, but I'm happy for you. Oh man. But nah, you know what? Let me stop laughing, because someone said, "Oh yeah, I'm pissed off," because somebody had something to say about me laughing on here.
Who said that?
No, I ain't gonna. But he probably watching it right now.
Oh.
And he probably watching. What's gonna wind up happening? He gonna get somebody really hurt.
Uh-oh.
Like, cause then that's gonna not. And then you know what? Let's go to address this shit right now.
Uh-oh. I ain't know nothing about this. Now I'm on the edge of my seat. Remember when, what's his name? What's the Bama name? When Migos and them got the beefing with Joe Budden, the Bama. That was my fault. Yo, go ahead. I'm trying to make light of the situation. Go ahead.
Certain people all of a sudden have an issue. And then, you know, you always say, like, y'all hear that Junior the mouse we got to worry about for the show. But people got little issue or whatever with little stuff that go on or what's said and things like that. But yet, you want to cry about it, but don't really address it. When I'm willing to holler at anybody who got some sense. I mean, but you want to sit there and whine about it and cry about it, and then someone want to say something stupid out their mouth about us laughing on the show, giggling on the show. Like all of a sudden, like if that's how you feel, then I mean, okay, that's fine. Okay.
Shit.
That's okay.
They must not know me. I'm a laughing girl. I was laughing and giggling in boot camp. My RDC's this close to my face. I was still giggling. Shit. It is what it is. That's our personality, bro. So I mean, I don't know who the hell said that, but this ain't CNN, this ain't Fox News, this ain't none of that. So we're gonna come on here and be ourselves. Sorry for being ourselves, we have lighthearted personalities that want to have fun. I don't know what else to say about that. That's crazy to me.
Yeah. But you know what? Let's go back to the beauty.
That's not gonna affect my day. I'm gonna be me regardless. Like, shit funny. My man got a phone that folds in half. That's hilarious. Like I mean, what you expect? What you expect? What you expect? His phone folds in half, yo.
Man, I wish y'all could see our producers, yeah.
And like it's crazy because it's not a Razr. It's not a T-Mobile Sidekick.
It's a tablet, sir.
It's a tablet that folds in half. That's outrageous to me.
Yes, sir. Yes, it is.
That's outrageous. But hey, let's cut to a quick commercial break real quick, and we'll be right back at you guys.
El Paso.
Yeah, guys. Welcome back. Big shout out to El Paso, Route 1 in Alexandria. Make sure if you guys are in the area, you go check them out, grab a plate, and keep supporting their business too. But guys, our guest is here. Our special guest is here.
Yes.
Franchon Crews, the heavy hitting diva, is in the building. Let's bring her into the show.
This feels good to see her right now. Gonna give big sis a hug. Oh, I gotta get up off my tail for this. I know.
How you doing? Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Of course.
I was just telling him, they was like, all the stories and stuff. I was just telling him, I was like, man, that go back. I was a baby in the gym being around you.
Facts.
Man, I was like, the first story I told him.
Oh, I'm sorry, they're right here on the floor.
Oh, the headphones.
My apologies.
You're right. The first story I told him, I was like, what was your first? People was like, you gonna tell a story about her? I said, sure. That was like the first time I met her. I knew who she was. But all of a sudden, this girl come down to the gym. We had Keystone. This girl come in with all of these people. with a camera crew, all this stuff. And I'm like, I said, who's she here for? She here to spar Sean. I'm like, she coming down here with promoters and all of these. Like, she was like deep, bro. Like, she had like 7 people.
Who was it?
I don't know this girl name till this day. Ooh. I never saw her again. But you sparred her about 5-6 rounds. And the punishment that you put on this girl, Sweet G standing next, Gary standing next to me. Yeah, land brick hook style. Like, yeah, go ahead, Sean. And then throw this another.
That sounds about right. I don't know, but yeah.
We never saw that girl again in life, bro. Never.
Of course. We'd like to give you an official welcome to the show. Thank you for coming by.
Thank you guys for having me. Thank you so much.
Of course.
It was crazy getting here, but I'm here. I can breathe. We're in love. Right. I'll take it.
Yes, indeed. So, I mean, I wanted to ask you, because I saw you at the No Excuse card, and I was like, Undisputed. And we turned around and took a picture or whatever. But what was your initial emotions when you found out they rolled your hand, you was Undisputed champion? What initially overcame your body?
It was more like a feeling of relief.
Mm-hmm.
You'll be surprised, even though it was a dominant performance. I even asked my manager and my team, like, did I win? Because like all the trials and tribulations I've been through in my career, and even just for that fight. So once it was over, I could just breathe, and I just thought about my mom, honestly. Mm-hmm. Like, I did it, and I even had a yell. I like screamed because I was just like, everything built into me, everything I put into the camp, everything I put to get here. Like, I did it. What's next?
Indeed. How has your life changed since becoming Undisputed champion of the world?
Well, I'm not a millionaire yet. We getting there. Yet. It's actually harder. It's harder but like for me, I'm used to being on top and having a target on my back. But it's like there's no blueprint, you know? I could echo kind of what Claressa Shields said, like especially being a Black woman, being a woman in a male-dominated sport, is really no blueprint in how you want your career to go. I'm not trying to be like how some of the guys, the next Floyd Mayweather or anything. I'm not trying to be the next Layla. Like I'm actually the first Franchon Crews discern. Like it's when you see who's the first super middleweight undisputed champion, it's me. So it's just like just navigating that, sorting out the bad seeds, and just building. Like where do I go to next? You know?
Yeah, I like that you said that because I have a question. What is next for you? We seen you called out Savannah at the fight. Like, what's next? What do you want next?
Man, I was over in the UK trying to get smoked with everybody. Things that make sense because I try not to let it get under me, but I'm a fighter at heart. Like, you know, I'm a lady and I'm a businesswoman, but I'm about the action at heart. So, like, when people start talking crazy, and I let it be known, I don't run. I never have, and I never will. Like, I didn't get here by strategic placement or cherry picking fights. I got here by betting on myself. You feel me? So what's next for me is to continue making history, calling out Savannah and Hammer are fights that would, you know, show people my skill. It would make sense financially, and it will help elevate women's boxing. Outside of that, I'm working alongside my manager / partner, Peter Kahn, and we're planning some things for the end of the year that could also give opportunities to other women. Because as a new age pioneer, you know, a lot of people preach that, but I really have responsibility. Like I've been putting in work. And it's girls that don't get the huge platforms. It's girls that's looking for fights. I get DMs from coaches and female fighters all the time. Like, you know, can you connect me to this? And people don't know, like, I wear so many hats behind the scenes.
Right.
So as far as in the business, so hopefully everything goes well and I'll be doing something in December. But 2023 on a broad scale in boxing is going to be amazing.
Yeah, for sure. What was that atmosphere like at the O2?
The O2?
Was it deafening? Because it sounded like it was deafening, like when Savannah came out. Like it was dead. Like you couldn't hear nothing.
It was crazy. I thought we was going to have to get active in the crowd. Because I'll never take anything from Savannah. She's an Olympian as an amateur, world gold medalist, and she's a former world champion. But I'm going to go hard for Shields. Like, that's the problem, I feel, not only for female boxers, but just American boxers, period. We don't support our home people, and especially people of color, Black people. We don't support each other as we should. And that's why you have to go to the UK to get huge fights. That's why we have to, you know, we just have to fight so many obstacles. But the atmosphere was lit. Like I was behind actually David Hayes and Derek, I can't say his last name.
Chisora.
Yeah, so they were lit. It was just like a whole bunch of people. And what I loved about them, not only did they support, they kept it 100. Because they could have been like, no, Savannah's whooping. They were saying, calling the fight how it was, you know? I definitely want to go back and fight in the UK.
Every time I hear fighters that go to the UK, they say that they'd rather continue to fight there. And like they're getting more love over there, it seems like. Like even Bud told his story about, you know, when he fought Ricky Burns, like they gonna talk trash to you, but you can fight, they support you. Type of thing.
They keep it real. Like they go hard for their fighter, but if you watch the fight, and as Claressa was getting in Savannah's, you know, space, they were very quiet. But at the end of the day, they respect fighters, and that's what I love.
Yeah, right. With where women's boxing is right now, I feel like it's at a pinnacle, but I feel like there's so much more that can be done. Where do you place yourself in the pack with the Claressas and Alycia Bumgardners and everybody else?
I'm the young OG. You know, Claressa is the GOAT, and I have to respect that, you know. But she'll tell you just like I'll tell you. She's coined us as the Venus and Serena of boxing, right? And if you see Serena, who just recently retired, she said it wouldn't be no Serena without Venus. So that's why I place myself in a class by myself, because I've known all those women before they were anything.
Right.
I've been fighting for a long time, winning for a long time. Would I say I'm better than them? I'm in a class by myself.
Right.
I'm undisputed. It's
Yes,
no
indeed.
dispute, you know?
Yeah.
As far as marketing and branding, I'm so happy for them, because I remember getting phone calls when they were trying to figure out, how can I get with these, you know, get an endorsement with like this clothing brand, or damn, I've been in there with Michaela figuring out her next move, you know, and to see them flourish like that, to see Claressa dropping a movie a week before she's going to fight in the O2, to see Alycia with Adidas and all these great things. I'm happy for them.
Yeah, of course.
Because I'm a firm believer of what's for me is always going to be for me. And my lane is so different from everyone.
Yeah.
I'm in the ring even when I'm not in the ring. Like Claressa
She
wore my stuff, and that's the 4th time. So to be a part of history, because in the words of Little Kim, music, sports, and entertainment, they go, and fashion goes together. When you saw that outfit, what did you think about? Apollo Creed. You know what I'm saying? So it's about just getting in when you fit in and doing what works for you.
100%. I was just telling you that. Remember the Monzo fight? We was at the fight at Maryland Live, and I was like, wait a minute, that's Sean stuff. I knew just from watching for years. Like, I already know, yo, that's Sean stuff. And I told all the multiple fights, like multiple fighters, not just here, like multiple fighters.
That's what I heard. That's what I've heard.
Yeah. So and tapping into that, you know, shameless plug. So, you know, I'm just a person of operating outside of my comfort zone. And my fairy glam mother, fairy glam mother put me in a fashion show, 25th anniversary fashion show, which is November 6th in Baltimore.
Okay.
Well, I'll do my first collection. I'll debut as a real designer alongside like 11 established international designers. So that's scary.
Right.
But it's amazing, and that's what boxing's taking me.
Best of lucks to you.
Thank you.
We were just talking before you came on. We was like, I asked him, I said, what about Franchon stands out to you the most? And he said her tenacity. And I was like, man, you stole what I was going to say. I said her heart and her ability to, when you dig as deep as you can possibly go, she going to dig just a little bit deeper. So where does that come from? Where do you draw from the
well, he's seen me like raw and rugged. Like people, you know, they credit like, oh, she's so refined and she's such a lady. I'm raw. Like if you take all of this off and this aesthetic, I'm really about this life, not just boxing, just life. And it's always been in me. I knew I was special, and I knew I was purpose for something in life. I didn't really know. I wanted to be a singer, and now I'm a world champion boxer, undisputed.
Right.
Going to be a fashion designer. But in the recent years was actually watching my mother pass and take her last breath. My mom and my mom's illness and boxing career coincided from like 2005, 2004. And she fought to live and I fought to win. And that's where a lot of my motivation comes from. And then when I watched her take her last breath, she never complained or cried through her whole process of, you know, enduring her sickness. And I'm like, yo, I got to make this life count for something. Yeah. And if I can get through all the pain and the heartbreak through that, if I push a little bit better, that no might be a yes. The next one might be a yes. So that's like the faith and the drive I have.
Yeah, but let's keep it all the way tall here. Because she going to tell you that, but I've watched her. So it's guys out here that I done watched for years that it's a certain... It's hard to dig deep sometimes. And they may say they want to do it. They may say they want to step out there. And then when them rounds get tough, they're not able to do it. And I've seen you dig, okay, all right, I'm going to dig deep. All right, now this person's still coming back. And then you dig deeper and push and push. And sometimes when you get to that level, you're really risking your life now because you're really going past overdrive at this point. And I've seen you do that away from the camera, and I've seen you do it on the world stage.
Yeah. Like I've always had a belief. It was more like an ignorant belief in myself because I'm like, hey, this is me. Like, who am I comparing myself to? And I never knew that I was different until people started treating me different. You feel me? So one moment where I actually doubted myself is in the 2012 Olympic trials when I had everybody against me, my coaches. Like I went through hell, and Claressa was coming. You know, that changed my life. And my husband and partner, Glenn Desern Jr.
Consummate pro.
Yeah, he's a resilience. Yeah, that's our middle name. And he stood up and told me, "You better not give up on yourself." And he that pushed me. And even through the rest of that tournament, and I was eliminated, he told me, he said, "You gonna get it through the back door." So from that moment to Undisputed, to steroid cheats, to everything I've been through to get to this point, I just had it in my head. You gonna get it through the back door. Don't give up on yourself. You know what I'm saying? So I can't. And you know, times have changed. Back then, social media wasn't as prominent, and it wasn't like, oh, if I do a good video on the internet, I'm lit. Like, nah, we had to fight. We had to put in work. We can't cuss up here.
No, you can't.
No,
I done cussed a few times. They had to apologize.
Out, and I'm like, nah, you got to put in work. Like, you had to fight, especially on the amateur system. Like everybody that's popping, when you talk about a Terrence Crawford, when you talk about Errol Spence, when you talk about all these people, like, that's my class. When you really had to fight, all the top tier guys really had to fight. So these days when guys be talking all, I can't relate, baby. I'm sorry. I worked 3 jobs, was in college, taking care of a sick mother and on Team USA producing. So when you tell me, oh, it's too hard, I can't relate. And I'm not going to babysit you. I'm not going to pump you up.
Right.
And quiet as it's kept, I just seen her do that and drive from Baltimore up here to train up here, because Herb was up here.
Yeah.
And would get the work in and go back.
Yeah. Oh, if you take it further, you know, and even with that class, Gary Russell, he's part of that class. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And I used to catch public transportation. I didn't have a car. So when people tell me they have a dream and things ain't going their way because they have a little adversity, I'm not trying to hear it. Like, find a way. Figure it out.
Right. You ain't trying to hear no excuses, right?
No, not at all.
So if you could look back at young Franchon, she was sitting right across the table from you with everything you've accomplished now. What would you tell young Franchon right now?
Just fuck them. Believe in yourself. Because honestly, if I would have knew that I was really popping as much as I was back then, if I would have known what I knew now, I would have left hella people in the dirt. I probably would have been a little further than where I am, a lot further. But people projected their insecurities on me because I was different, because I didn't fit the mold. So if old Franchon could tell young Franchon, just do you. Do you. They let them catch up. Yeah,
for sure. I know Claressa was saying being a women's boxer at a young age, she got picked on a lot. Oh, you a girl, you boxing, you got a black eye. Did you go through some of the similar things?
Man, I had, like, because I'm so dedicated to this life. Like, I put children on hold. I didn't really get to experience life and parties. And I'm not a partier or anything, but I was so, and I am still, but I'm learning to live life, especially after my mother passed. But so dedicated to this and traveling and fighting. Like, I didn't start experiencing adulthood till I was probably in my 20s, maybe. You know, I'm still learning. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm still learning a lot of things. And I don't understand why certain people function certain ways, because I've never encountered that, you know? But yeah, I got guys will call me a tranny because I freaking had muscles, because I worked out, and like, because you want to drink and smoke. That has nothing to do with me. I love my life. Like, I see people younger than me that look worse than me.
Yeah. Right.
But
yeah, you get picked on and everything, but you can fight, so it don't matter.
And I remember me and you had a conversation. You was like, "Oh, you got sickle cell?" I said, "Yeah." I said, "So you don't drink or smoke?" I said, "Nope, I don't drink or smoke. I really don't care about going out, stuff like that." You said, "Don't let nobody change that." You like this, like her whole face changed. She said, "Don't." I ain't gonna say the fighters who was around, but she said, "Don't y'all corrupt that."
Yeah.
Don't y'all mess with him with that.
But you a champion within yourself. Like, you've always been positive. You've always had a light. Even when you went in dark times, you always had a light. And I'm so proud of you.
Thanks,
I'm very, very proud of you.
Thanks, big sis.
That's huge, man. That's huge. You get all the love. Every time I'm with this guy, he always a superstar. Man. I'm like,
He
oh
is.
my God.
I ain't hating on you, bro. You deserve it.
I love both of y'all, man. I appreciate y'all.
You deserve it. Before you got into boxing at a young age, what were some of your interests? So you said singing. You wanted to be a singer. Was there anything else?
Yeah, I look back and I actually made paper dolls. So fashion's been there. I graduated school very early, but I don't know. I don't know. I just wanted to be something. Right.
So how did you get into boxing? What was your first experience?
So I was a street fighter. Fighting was natural to me.
Right.
I fought girls, boys, equal opportunity ass whoopings.
Spar bigger guys.
Yeah, I spar, man, even with this boxing thing. But my first experience, I got taken to the gym. I was in the studio, and my mentor, he said I need to lose weight because y'all young, but back in the day, you had to be like pencil thin and this, that, and the third. And I was a healthy girl. I'm from the South, so I was healthy. And my guy friend, they was like, hey, you can lose 5 pounds in one day with boxing. So they took me there, and I was a transplant from Virginia to Baltimore. So I was very, very new. And they took me there, and they threw me in a ring with this guy named James Berry.
Oh man,
he's fighting for
Boxing Berry.
He's fighting for his freedom, fighting for his life. Shout out to James Berry.
Yeah,
I love you. Everything I do in this boxing shit, like you with me. But we sparred like my first day, and they call us Ike and Tina. He bust my lip and everything.
Oh, shit.
And I came back the next day. So it was in me. It was in me. And I never left the gym.
It's been over since then.
Yeah. Been up.
Okay. How did you find your team, Headbangers, Coach Barry and Jamie and everybody?
I went through a lot of hell, and I found heaven. And they a piece of work too, but in a good way. You know what I'm saying? Right. Actually, I was in Baltimore at the gym, and my whole goal is to grow. And sometimes people are uncomfortable with your growth, and they'll start making things bad for you or trying to pull you back down when you're ascending. So the good thing, I was on Team USA, so I would travel often to Colorado and train with Team USA. But Glenn, my husband, he was my friend at the time, and I asked him, like, what gym would you want to go to? And he picked Barry. Like, I've known Barry. I would see B at tournaments and stuff because, you know, he's a world-class trainer. And he said my husband wanted to go to Headbangers. So he started going there first. And then at the 2016 Olympic trials, it was just me and Glenn. And I asked Barry and Jamie to work my corner along with Glenn. And B worked my last amateur fights. And then I was like, F it, I'm going with you guys. And I had trained in DC. I trained with the Russells at one point. But I just was like a renegade, a little nomad person wandering around. Making it work.
Right.
Showing up with a bag, like who wants smoke? How many rounds you want? Like that's how I remember that. Like go to gym. Like,
you ever seen that movie It Man?
It Man, yeah.
I was outside punching trees. Like we was homeless in the gym for a minute.
Dang, that's tough. You talk about that a little bit?
Like what? Just not having a gym?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like people don't know, for a minute we were training in the park behind my mother's apartment complex, punching trees. Long as I got like road work in, we'll go visit certain gyms, try to get some sparring, but nothing was gonna stop what I needed to do. And I really had to trust my heart because I see so many people. Like I was one of the first people who commuted from Baltimore down to DC. Right. And going through that, people are like, "Oh, you a traitor? You this?" Like I actually didn't want to leave Baltimore, but I got put on the spot and just embarrassed at a Golden Glove tournament, just some crazy shit. And I was just like, I don't need this. Yeah, I'm gonna go where I'm celebrated, not tolerated. And after that, I just, wherever the wind blew me and I could find peace and continue to grow, that's where I went.
This will be understand real quick. This, like, I hope it's this, because there's so many fighters just in our area, down to PVA, bro, just up, down, Region 3, whatever, that me and Sean know that done have, you're going to have your adversaries or whatever, And unless you have an illness like me, where it's like, okay, he has to call it and he's gonna do something else. But it was so many fighters that we can list on this paper and be like, if they would have just kept going a little more, that girl, that guy will be up on this level, at least in the top 15, at least in the top 15. And watching Sean do what she had to do, like when I mean do what she had to do to get what needed to be done, that's the epitome
with
of
integrity, because that sounded a little.
No,
You know?
my bad. No,
Hold on, we ain't go that route.
No. But I mean, like, anyway, she could get work, she was getting to work. Wherever she could spar, she sparred. Wherever she could train, she trained.
Punching the trees, that's deep. That's deep.
Just making sure she get her road work in. Those different things. And there's so many fighters that we knew, that we grew up in the amateurs with, that were good female fighters, good male fighters. Like, oh, if this gonna keep going, she's gonna be fine. Oh, she dealt with such and such. Okay, cool. She just needs to just keep her in the gym. Just keep her in the gym. One kid we knew, y'all hear me say this thing all the time, rest in peace quick. We just wanted to keep him in the gym.
Yeah.
And things happen. It's like just that little adversity, like just messes up. You just stay in the gym, it will happen. A lot of times it's just that. So it's hard, but sometimes that one statement is all that needs to be done. Just stay in the gym and it happens.
And it's not, trust me, I did not come from an entitled background. I didn't, even now, like, I support myself. I invest in myself. You know what I'm saying? Like, when you see me, it's because I am a business. So you have to invest in your business. And I'm not here to bash anybody. What kills me is people who have support, whether it's the parents or they have financial backing, and they still don't get their act together. Like, it doesn't make sense.
Something to complain about.
Even as a multinational champion, to raise money to go to tournaments, I would go to the Inner Harbor in Baltimore and shadow box with a bucket and a sign so I can get money. Like, people don't. I used to go to tournaments with a light bill notice, so I had to win the tournament so I can have funding for the rest of the year. It's like, okay, if I win this, I have a little stipend, and it helps me a little bit while working 3 jobs. So consistency, and I dealt with life issues because, like you said, a lot of these young people don't know how to cope with life. A lot of people don't, young and old, don't know how to cope with life, so they turn to substances, or they try to. They may have family problems, so they're finding family in the street. But love should make you prosper. And even me, I used to run through D Block. If you from Baltimore, you know what D Block is. And I could tell you all the D boys, drug dealers, whatever, they made sure Big Mama was okay. I run through, get off the block, shorty. Or that's boxing, shorty, right there. Like, they made sure I was good. So it's like love, whether you in the streets, out the streets, should make you prosper, and they should want you to win. If people is directing you the wrong way, they don't love you.
Wow, that's huge. That's huge. I have so much respect for you. I didn't know you went to those depths, like shadow boxing with a hat or a bucket, people tipping you so you could.
Yeah, I have people that will vouch. I'm not here to exaggerate a story. Maybe one day I'll have a movie. Maybe one day I'll do a book. And people don't understand why I'm so passionate. People don't understand, like, the young guys in the gym, I talk them to death. And I just want you to know, like, y'all blessed, man. Y'all got your parents here. Y'all got, like niggas really had to crawl through fire so a lot of these guys and girls could run and walk easily. To have, even with the USA Boxing, to have a whole organization promoting you and putting you out there, like, you look on social media, putting you in positions. That's amazing. I didn't have that. But I was still winning.
Grinded for it.
Yeah.
Grinded. Who are some of your favorite youngins from the gym? I know she love you to death.
Yeah.
Who are some of the other ones?
Of course, the guys in the gym, because that's who I'm around all the time. We have world champions from this area, amateur world champions. Who else? Top Dog, baby. What's Baby Top? The young female.
Top Dog, Baby Top Dog.
Yeah, I like her swag. She mean. Like, I like her. And, I'm not going to be like, I don't like to do that because a lot of people look up to me. I'm proud of anybody who's pursuing their dreams, especially here in these times. Like, stuff is crazy these days, But anybody that's doing things and making a name for themselves, I definitely salute you.
100%. DMV boxing, we had a lot of people come in and say DMV is the hub of boxing. How do you feel about that?
Oh, it's one of the meccas, and it's been that way. You got New York, you
Ohio.
have LA. Well, you know, California, the West Side, but DC's produced epic people. When you go Sugar Ray Leonard, you got the Mark II Sharps, you got the Gary Russells, you got the Mees. Who else? You got so many
Peterson boys.
Yeah, the Petersons. Hello. you know, it's so many boxing, I want to say icons, but staples from this area. And I mean, I'm just proud that I can leave a little mark. Here.
Huge mark. Undisputed world champion. That's huge.
Yeah. That's huge. I want more.
Right. Of course.
I want more.
Of course. Let me ask you about the fight at the Madison Square Garden with Amanda Serrano and Katie Taylor. Indeed. Did you get a chance to catch some of that fight after yours?
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
I was able to win, go change, glam up, and have a front row, like almost front row seat. I had Layla Ali on my left. Wow. I had Chrissy Martin in front of me, Cecilia Brakos on my right. And I took in the moment, and it was like a movie. Was it better than O2 Arena in London? I'm gonna be biased, but I'm gonna be real with you. Like nothing tops Madison Square Garden.
Yeah, the Mecca.
That was crazy. That was crazy, and just the energy. And you notice a lot of them said that they slowed down because when I came out, I was hyping. I was walking, and I had to stop and look and take it in. I was like, oh, this is my time. Like I'm about to get active. You know what I mean? And it was just, you could ask all the people that came, like my coaches and family, and it was a moment they'll never forget. That was one of the highlights of boxing for them.
100%. I know he called me, I think, during the fight and after the fight, and I was almost in tears after just seeing how much they put into that fight, both of them, especially Katie when she was hurt and she found a way to survive. Like just seeing that kind of effort and heart you put into something that you love, it like almost brought me to tears. Like that was amazing.
You know, I'll say the women, myself included, we had to fight not only each other, we had to fight against the stigma that women don't sell, women aren't entertaining. And it wasn't just for us. I feel like what you saw with her, with the Katie and Amanda, and even the passion I had, because the girl I fought wasn't a chump. Like
no, she was tough.
She would, if I gave her an inch, she would have definitely took a mile. And you saw like, look, I'm fighting for my dream, I'm fighting for women's boxing, and you had to respect the ambition. That's what you felt, our ambition and passion.
You hit that right on the head with that. That's perfect the way you just.
I was good after Sean fight. I was like, all right, I'm
sure.
good. We was on the phone. I was like, okay, I'm good, bro. Yeah. She won. Yeah, I can relax.
She did it. She did it. She did it.
Man, I was spazzing.
I was asking like, did I win, y'all? Did I win? Is it over? Is it over?
Is it over?
Oh, it was crazy.
What was some of your toughest moments in that fight, if any, where you had to really dig?
I lost focus. I'll say I lost focus probably like the 7th round. But that's the only thing, keeping focus, because it felt like fight night. Because when you're fighting the crowd, like I'm cool because I've always fought on the big stage. But with her, I could just really see how determined she was. So it's like, don't like stay composed, stay focused. Don't worry about the ref, don't worry about the crowd. But it was a good fight. I prepared for it. So that's why I don't want to say it was easy, because no fight is easy. But I just had to remain focused.
Right. And what's her favorite combination that she throws?
Roll, brick hook, or roll under, uppercut, and hook every time.
Or that overhand.
And that was daggone overhand.
It was like a missile.
I'm telling you, man, that thing was doop doop.
That was that was the first shot I ever really saw.
Look, my fat self, I was up there. That second round, I had her hurt, so I jumped on her, and she was determined not to go. I was like, Lord, please don't shoot your little girl, please. We got 8 more rounds, but that's probably one of the moments like, oh, shit, she ain't go.
Oh, she ain't go nowhere.
Now I'm at the beat on the words. Like.
Right. I'm not going to lie. Kind of after you heard it, you jumped on and she didn't go, I could see you like saying, fuck it. Like, damn.
Because I was like, calm down, because I didn't want to gas out, because you know, she's a champion. She took a belt, she earned a belt, and she had a whole year and some change to train. And she was a top athlete as a soccer player. So that competition mindset, that getting rugged part, she had that in the bag, and she was a top athlete. So I just knew, like, if I gave her one chance, she was going to definitely take.
Push.
Because she threw something, she hit me. I was like, oh shit. Like, okay. Now let's get busy.
Yeah. If I could ask you, if you were a promoter and you was putting together another all-women's card at Madison Square Garden or something like that, who would you put on the card to make it just a sellout?
What if I told you I was? Maybe not Madison Square Garden, but yeah. No, but to make it a sellout, there's so many questions because you never put my business hat on. Who's I gotta have a big budget. Is it unlimited budget or what?
A fantasy card, like a big Madison Square Garden sellout, O2 Arena sellout. If you had the funds to do it, you could put anybody you want. That would pay-per-view. Everybody sit down and watch.
Everybody. Period.
Yeah, right.
Period. Line them up. No. Of course, myself. Of course, Claressa. I mean, you have it. Like, we've done that.
Y'all
basically
done it.
Part 1 and Part 2. And I don't know. That's a lot because it's so many names that's not like big that are very entertaining.
Yes.
Right.
I don't know. That's a hard question. Who would you put?
Man, it's you, Claressa, Michaela. I love Alycia, man. Her style and just her confidence in herself.
And she fine.
Hey, you ain't gonna get me jammed to my
She
girl
fine.
probably. You're not gonna get me jammed.
Hey, she fine. She signed to a modeling agency, so she's very beautiful.
She's straight. She's definitely straight, bro. You ain't gonna be look at him looking at me crazy, bro.
All the guys in my gym like, oh man, shoot. And I'm like, chill, bro. I maybe one day I'll get her to say hi to y'all. Like, chill.
right. So I'm going y'all. Then I'm going Senicia. I'm going Cecilia. I'm going with what's her name? She just fought and punished her opponent. Latina, wears braids a lot. She's married.
Oh.
Wait, Marlena Esparza?
No. She's a beast.
Well, wait.
Small, like 110 or something like that. No, I'm lying. She's like 130. You know what I'm talking about, man.
Where's she from?
Oh, now I gotta look it up.
It's not clicking.
Now I gotta look it up. She does analysis sometimes.
Jessica McCaskill.
Yes. Jessica McCaskill.
Yes. She about to fight too,
Yeah, she's vicious, yo. I would have all of y'all on the card. That's selling out.
That's like all the Undisputed champions, basically.
Yeah.
Nah, like I seen her fight when she fought here at the MGM. And the girl, her was, clutching because she has a very unorthodox style as well. And she literally hollered in the ring and just started boom, but like her punches got stronger. Like, I don't know, she went Super Saiyan in the ring. But that's a good card. But it's some up and coming fighters that it's a lot. I think the card would be too long to promote.
To put them all on there.
We're going to do a week special, a weekend special.
Yeah,
part 1, part 2.
You can't take them. Who you going to put on the preliminary? Who you going to put on the
Exactly.
We're
going to be fighting.
I can say Amanda, Serrano. I ain't putting them in there.
We're going to be fighting.
That is rough.
They be like, ain't nobody come here to see you, Otis. You know what I'm saying? Like,
oh, man.
No doubt. We got Lou Peterson. The champ is in the building. El Paso Route 1 with the fire emojis. Thank you guys for tapping into the chat and showing love. We appreciate you guys always.
Man, it just feels good watching this.
It does. Like I was saying,
you see, I'm over here not saying the word.
I feel like I'm giving history lessons.
I'm
just enjoying
for sure, because a lot of people don't know about women's boxing. And we've been advocating for it and telling people like, yo, check it out. Watch this. She's up and coming. She's fire. Don't miss this. This is good to have you on. I'm glad you came. I really am.
But not just that, because I had a private conversation when I told him, I was like, any fight, even if I don't like you, I still want to see you do good because you know what that 3 minutes feel like. So if I like you, I'm happy for you to make it. But if I know you and I got a personal relationship with you, I'm ecstatic for you when you make it.
Oh, for sure.
And when you start doing your thing. All this and then now how that little gym at Keystone all them years ago, and now look at where we at. How full circle is like I'm just sitting back and just soaking it in, just letting you do your thing.
And to say to that, like trust me, it's some female boxers that don't like me, but they respect me.
Got to,
and I could deal with that. And I'm not gonna sit there and be like, oh, I hope you lose. For what? Like, what you eat don't make me use the restroom.
Indeed.
And I'm going to support you because it's bigger. You're going to need the good versus the bad. You're going to need the contrast to grow.
Mm-hmm.
But long as you don't step out of line, we good.
Yeah.
Right. Indeed. I want to try to pull a little bit more of that out of you because you kind of touched on it.
What?
You kind of like got off of it.
What?
The all women's card that you said, what if I am? What if I am? So
I speak
without giving too much. Go ahead.
I have to speak on it. I'll speak on it when everything's in stone.
Okay.
But I'm definitely it's part of my brand as well. Like as I want to be more than just an undisputed champion. And you also have to create the spaces. When you don't see the opportunities there, you have to make your lane. So if the little bit of things that I'm able to accomplish can open doors or provide opportunities for other women and men, like I have a lot of stuff. 2023 is going to be eventful, and it's going to be a great start to multiple journeys.
Indeed, we love to hear it, man. We love to see it.
Man, I've watched this maturation process and you just knew, man, I never get my fault. Said, man, if she just get the right, just keep doing her thing, and then somebody get behind her, man, she gonna be fine. She'll be fine. And then to see it all unfold, it's like it's beautiful to watch. Then I gotta bring it up because it pissed me off. But the girl who popped dirty with Sean, that was just because I was freaking out that whole fight because I was
freaking out when you know what happened to me. I was freaking out too.
Man, nah, but the biggest thing was how you handled it, because the way you handled it was, I got to focus on this. This is bigger than everything else. Once I get there, I can move forward. And the biggest thing was, you have feelings. I was telling him before you got here, like you have feelings when you watching the fight, like something don't feel right about this.
Baby, I could show you previous interviews. I already knew it was up. And this is the ugly part about boxing. This is the ugly part about boxing because it's a lot of politics. It's a lot of side deals. It's a lot of people who don't want to see you win. Like, you probably have more people that don't want to see you win than you do, that wants to see you win. So if you get good people that support you or good people in your corner, take them, because they are far and few in between. And it's hard to find people who have your best interests. And 9 times out of 10, you may not, like, you gotta understand, it's always gonna be, they're always gonna want something from you. Yeah. You'll find people who genuinely just bang with you, but it's always gonna be some kind of kickback. And it's like Bob Marley says, everyone's gonna break your heart. You just gotta find out who's worth it.
Indeed.
Indeed. But yeah, with that situation, I'm a firm believer in the universe and correcting itself. And I didn't have to say a word. Because when I went through the situation, when they popped dirty and people were bashing the fans, other fighters stood up for me. I didn't have to badmouth anybody because I knew the truth. And I was driving up to Danny Garcia fighting in New York, and I got the call that person tested positive. And I was like, I knew it. I freaking knew it. And fast forward now, they just retired in September. Yeah. And it's like, even... could I complain that it wasn't a harsh enough punishment when it happened? Yeah, but at the end of the day, I still was focused on what I got to do. I know I'm going to be fine, but I just needed to, maybe what I went through, save somebody else's life or help bring light to the PED usage and women's boxing, because we don't get the respect anyway as women boxers. And then to find out they cheating, like, nobody's going to care. But what I went through definitely brought light to it. And yeah, they retired and now they're trying to sue because they're making it a whole different situation. You can't sue because you cheated. Like, make it make sense.
Ain't no way you can make that add up.
And I was telling him, he was like, what was you worried about? And I said, the biggest thing is the sport is dangerous enough as it is. And then you take what our relationship is and me watching the fight, and I'm saying, like, move. I'm sweating the whole time. You sweating, I was like, move, Sean. Keep moving. We keep rolling on it and stuff. And to dig deep past that, you really risking it now.
I was hurt. I got hurt the second round. Like, that was I knew something was wrong because out of my whole career as an amateur and a professional, I've never, like, I've gotten like a flash from I used to spar this light heavyweight guy. I walked into a punch and I got hurt. Like, I blacked out a little bit. But I've never been hurt in a fight. Like, I got a chin and everything. But she, like, yeah. And I was hurt from round 2, probably all the way up to like round 5, 6. So I just said, don't go down. And I knew something was wrong because I was telling B, I'm like, am I doing something? I'm asking the corner, like, am I doing something wrong? Because I'm hitting her with everything but the kitchen sink. Like, most punches, like, I'm not the strongest, but I know I got pop. I know I got enough to make you respect me. Like, you ain't gonna just keep walking in. I'm just like, oh my God. Like,
the roll under, they still post it. I was telling before you guys, like, they still post, and they put textbook whenever they post. When you rolled under and threw a perfect uppercut, everything was flush. Boom, textbook.
Like,
boom.
yo.
And I'm like, the girl didn't even lean or
she
nothing.
shook it off like, okay, what's next?
God.
and that just shows, and that takes me to like why I don't be tripping off girls talking crazy now. Like, I'm built like that.
Yeah.
The fact that a person had the juice for a whole year just to barely get an undeserved split decision against me. Like, you think I'm worried about a Savannah? You think I'm worried about a Hammer, any of those girls? Like, any punch can hurt you, but trust me.
Yeah.
Nah.
Yeah. What are some things you saw that Claressa exposed with Savannah that last fight that you could exploit against her?
If I hit her flush like that, it's gonna be different because I'm a little more powerful than Claressa. She's strong, but I'm more powerful. She doesn't really jab. And she tried to bully Claressa because she was bigger. It wouldn't be. It's all I could say. It'll be a different fight with me because we have different styles, and I have different arsenals. Like, Claressa was at a disadvantage with her reach. My reach is longer. I'm more solid, and I have different style. Like, Claressa's a volume puncher. I got speed and hands too, but I don't know.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and put this out here real quick. If Savannah, for 1 second, like, first I want to say respect to Savannah. You know, do not retire. Not after that beautiful performance.
Yeah,
I told her, let's go. You know, do not. You know, you did what you did. Nobody will ever forget. But shawty, Claressa was rolling, shooting all the way from the bottom up. But if you think for 1 second you gonna walk forward and shoot from bottom up like this and bring it back to your kneecap and no overhand right is coming, you was sadly mistaken.
Yeah, I just think that would be one fight that will bring out the best in me. Like, even my debut with Claressa for 4 rounds, you know, I had only 2 weeks to train. Let's remember. I think that would be one of those fights that people really get to see, like, I'm really what I say I am. Because you'll be surprised, even after accomplishing Undisputed, fighting the type of fights I fought in my short career, people still questioning, like, it's okay.
Right. That's a damn shame.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Nah, cause that's how, you know, when I know the fight now or been in the gym with them, he knows I go that different time than gone on. And now look, this is the guy on the phone. She already know I'm gonna go off. This is the thing. I said this before you got here. That you can't. The people who say that, I wonder if they know what that 3 minutes feel like.
Right.
Because
that's true.
You can take. It's only a few people that you could really write them, man or woman. You could put out. Say it again. That you could put on a piece of paper and say I have more accomplishment than her. From amateur, from nationals to international competition, to pro, up to Undisputed, she can literally take up this table. And it's only true. 1 or 2 men and maybe 1 woman that you could really put on a list and maybe say, like, okay, maybe just that. And it's only about that much that they may have 1 more thing than her. So you can't necessarily say that. So if anybody were to say that, I wonder if they know what that 3 minutes feel like.
Yeah, I'm open for, as far as women, I'm open for 12 2 minutes to start out.
Yeah,
like you know, I would go the extra two rounds because it definitely would test your gas tank. Because you saw with Claressa Savannah's fight, you know, that last round, Claressa had spent a lot of money and she needed to re-up a little bit, you know.
Right.
And who knows what would have happened in those last 2 rounds, even with my fight. So. It's a process, and you have women advocate for 3 minute rounds. I'm okay with 12 2 minute rounds to start out with.
For sure.
Unless they're gonna pay us more, I'm gonna do what I gotta do.
And two, this for people who don't know, like you're giving these women 10 times 2, but they in the gym sparring 5-minute rounds.
Mm-hmm.
They in the gym with men. They made some of the men made like, of course, you working with your teammate. You ain't trying to kill them. You trying to help them get to the money, but you also not babysitting.
What gym is that? Because
exactly. But I'm just saying. But you know, you got certain situations where these women, these same women that you're saying they can't do this, can't do that, they sparring 10 rounds, switching out guys. There's no girls there. I done seen this woman on switching 4 rounds. You get 4, you get 4, you get 4. Stuff like that. They doing 12, stuff like that, switching guys out. And then they doing sometimes 5-minute rounds.
Mm-hmm.
And yet you want to say, oh, well, you know, safety. You want to do 2 minutes. Right. Nah, man.
Listen, women have the capacity to give birth.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
That's how we were designed. And unfortunately, it's some women who can't, you know, due to, you know, health reasons. But we can sustain more pain and trauma than anybody.
I'm telling you. Because I got tattoos, and I hate tattoos, but the women I know that got tattoos, they love, like, y'all love getting inked up in terrible spots. And they don't even, I'm like, y'all cry when I got my ribs tatted. They probably on
some other stuff. That's what it is.
I don't know, but women's pain tolerance is crazy.
Yeah.
It's definitely crazy.
Of course.
But
of course.
Before we let you go, I know you got a busy schedule, Undisputed World Champion.
I gotta eat. I'm hungry.
Multiple businesses and stuff you're doing. First, we want to thank you for coming to the show and showing love.
Mm-hmm.
This is huge. Undisputed World Champion here, guys. Franchon Crews design.
Thanks for looking out for your baby, bro.
Yeah.
Right, baby, bro. You know, it just.
I was like, what took y'all so long? I was getting kind of jealous. Like,
man.
What's going on?
I had to shut up.
What's going on?
What took so long?
Producing team? What's good?
I'm going to pass that to the team. I ain't want no part of that.
They be treating me bad, y'all. It's okay, though.
Was anything that you would like to say before we let you go today?
Like I said, November 6th, I'm doing my fashion showcase. Okay. Look out for all the guys that's coming up, you know, at my gym. Mm-hmm. Shout out to Glenn too. Just I don't know what else to say. Thank you for the support. And, you know, I love the DMV. So it was special for me to come here because I've been on all types of platforms, but to come here and spend time with you guys, I really appreciate it.
Oh, well, that means a lot. Thank you so much. Also, before you leave, we got a gift for you. We got a pair of the HYBERNATION 5 headphones from Kenichi Bed for you.
Oh, shoot. Let me find out.
Uh-huh.
You see what's happening.
Indeed. Also, because they weren't able to do a food drop today, El Paso Route 1 is going to invite you to the restaurant on them.
Ooh.
Give you a plate. El Paso Route 1.
Yeah, one of our sponsors.
What kind of food is it?
Mexican food.
Oh, yeah.
It's over with?
Uh-huh.
So El Paso Route 1 is going to invite you to the restaurant on them. They want to have an Undisputed World Champion in the building, and they would love to have you.
Muchas gracias para comida porque mucho me gusta Mexicana comida.
Oh, she got you, bro.
You speak Spanish too?
A little bit.
Yeah, I love Mexican food.
Yeah.
I love all of that.
Indeed. Thank you again, and we're going to cut to a quick break.
I was born for this. Always knew I was the one, didn't know when my time was gonna come. Born for this. Gotta be the voice for the youth, won't stop.
And I can keep the bass on, right? And I can stay on even when I'm on the game. Oh, that.
Are you still using these to play games? Or these to listen to music? What if I told you these are gaming headphones? And you can use these to listen to music. So get rid of these two. And get the new Hibernation 5s by Kenichi. Hybrid gaming and lifestyle headphones. Out of the box, you can connect to any console or PC. Bluetooth ready with a low latency USB adapter. Color RGB and extreme bass mode.
The Hibernation 5s are just to you.
Yo, we back, guys. Thank you guys for staying tuned. We just had the heavy hitting diva in here, Franchon Crews, the Undisputed World Champion. What a phenomenal interview, man. She really showed heart and grit and really showed what she's really about. You know, just hearing her story from punching trees, coming up as a youngin', shadow boxing at the Baltimore Harbor just to make money to go, you know, travel for tournaments. Like, that's what it takes. Sometimes it takes that. And she was saying how, you know, kids come from families where their parents are well off or they have a house over their head and roof. And then they still want to do the wrong things. It's like, because they know at the end of the day they're going to be okay. Their parents got them. But when you got your back against the wall and you have no choice but to perform, it brings a different beast, a different animal out of you. So much respect to the Undisputed World Champion, our own, DMV's own, Franchon Crews design.
I'm just looking at Sabrina.
All right, this my little youngin' right here. Little Vonnie, say what's up. He had to be on the show for a little bit. Had to bring.
And then the other time, because he be coming and he the boss. Because every time he come with peek around the corner and look, y'all doing y'all job.
Talking about,
what? Die. And he turned. He was looking up. But yeah, man, it was a big, because, you know, our history and everything is like a beautiful full circle thing. And then it felt good to watch her come in here and just tell her story and express everything. Because it's like, I really hope that people understand that she got it the hard way, man. Like, she got it the hard way.
Really did, man.
You know, so, and it was no other choice but to, you know, you hear people overuse this line, but, you know, it's do or die moment. You have to know it kind of was for her. Like, it was, and you got list of fighters from my dad's era all the way up to now that, man, just that kid would have did this or did that, he would have been fine. Why did he stop? Why did man, that boy would have been nice. And such and such, you know. And you hope he doing something good for themselves. But then, you know, you find out other things sometimes. Sometimes it ain't always a good ending. Yeah. You know, sometimes it's a good ending. Oh, no, he working, doing fine. He's comfortable. We're not fighting him. Cool. But the ones where it's a rough ending, it's like, man, it's so, man. And then to see what Sean went through, and Sean went through, not to put too many guys' names, you know, I'm not saying no names, but it was guys, she went through worse. And then to make the distance back and forth the way she did. Right. You know, so, you know, I done told you in private the seriousness of the situation. You know, with people like her and Tank, you know, getting it in and coming up here all the way up to Wardolph and JC's and, you know, to go to the tournaments and fight, go to Ray Lennox and fight, you know. So it was a beautiful thing to watch her come in here and talk and do her thing and, you know, and get her flowers in a sense.
Oh, she definitely deserves it, man. She was saying some folks still don't think she's done enough. I mean, that's undisputed world champion. And then outside of that, her character speaks for itself. You know, still driving, still going to do more, still pushing, open and doing different things, businesses, and it's just incredible to see. You know, especially a black woman in today's time thriving and being unapologetically her and not afraid. So I mean, big ups to Franchon, man. That was huge, man. I hope this interview lives on and lasts forever, lasts a lifetime, man. Hey, bro, don't touch that. All right, look, guys, little man getting restless. So we're gonna go ahead and wrap this one up. Wrap this one up. Oh, he got the headphones. Oh, Lord.
I got him.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So look, we're gonna wrap this one up, man. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for watching the live. Thank you guys for supporting us here at Slip and Counter and supporting Franchon. It's a team environment, family environment here, as you can see. If you guys like what you saw, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Make sure you guys follow us on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, Facebook, and we'll be right back at you guys again next week.
See y'all, man.